Oh boy, eh? Good morning, Rocky. Rocky's really giving me some head boops here and rubbing his head on me. Getting his scent on me really good. 'Cause he has to claim me as his. Hey, you're quite the cat. You are. He's not fooling around. Yeah, I'm gonna be sure everybody knows that I'm his person. Uh-huh. Well, Rocky, you're quite the cat. You are that. You're a good boy. Mm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm discouraged about the whole situation with that truck and with those defective friggin' lines that keep, yeah, this is the second one anyway. The first replacement line was defective, and this is the second one, so I don't know. Nothing works anyway these days, that's for sure. Oh, you got something in his fur there. Oh, there we go. Okay, just a little bit of dirt. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Yeah, you're a good boy. You are. Okay. um. Anyway, hmm. Oh, ah, okay, you get off me. Ah, okay. Mm. All right. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So anyway, it's morning time. It's 3:28 a.m. on Tuesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. Imagine that. Yeah, April Fool's Day. And in Canada, I don't know, right, where carbon tax was supposed to go up today, but I don't know what's happening with that right now. They wanted to make it cost more for everything, but again, because in the words of our Deputy Prime Minister, Chrystia Freeland, it's important that we feel the pain so that we can realize that our behavior is destroying the planet or whatever. She's an asshat from way back anyway. These government people. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know if that's happening or not, although the price of gasoline going up probably isn't going to be an issue for me anymore. So other than for my generator, I guess it will be. But I don't know if the transmission in that truck is cooked or what, but it seems like it might be. If it were an old vehicle, more like what I'm used to, it definitely would be doing what it's doing. But, it's just modern enough that it does have some computers in it and stuff, so who knows, maybe the computer did that in order to protect it or something. When it run out of fluid, I just don't know. Plus, of course, there's no hydraulic pressure there if it's out of fluid, so how's it going to go into gear with no fluid in it? You know, it's a good thing anyway that I stopped at that other store at the independent grocer, because if I had it just went straight back here with it, chances are by the time it got here it would have been cooked. So maybe my stopping there saved it. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping. But I do know I'm not putting another transmission in it. It'd be $5,000. I could do it with my tax refund money I've got coming, but then I would still be in debt up to my ears, and what's going to go next? You know, it just isn't worth it. And the fact that it's getting hard to find good replacement parts and all the rest of it. You know, this is all being done to us on purpose. It's not that they can't make good parts for vehicles. It's that they choose not to because they want us out of vehicles. And they've told us that too, that they don't want us driving. So, you know, they've told us that. So, you know, the same thing that they want most of us to be gone by the year 2030. 95% of us are supposed to be dead by 2030. Well, they're not going to do that unless they have a massive cull of the population. I believe that's what that pushing those shots for COVID, I think that's what that was. Anyway, very evil. We're dealing with some very evil people. You know, the world is not run by good people. It really isn't. It's run by people that would make the worst psychopaths in prison look like wonderful people. You know, really. It's run by people just of that character. And so this is what we get. And everything is geared toward making life tough for us. You know. These are people who hate us. And you gotta bear in mind, these people worship Lucifer. And Lucifer hates us. So it makes sense when you realize that. Yeah. Anyway, Rocky's a bright light in an otherwise dark day. Um, yeah, he is. Very fortunate and blessed to have Rocky. Um, hmm, like I say, I don't know. Hmm. Like I remember when I was young, sometimes you'd buy a car and the car would last a year. But you'd have less than $500 into the car too for that year of driving. Um, and it wouldn't be a matter of you not being able to fix it either. When it would break down a year later, it would be a matter of it's going to cost me another $500 to fix this car, or I could get a different car. You know, or it's going to cost me $700 to do the repairs on this car, and I know of a car I can buy for $200 and put another 100 into it, and I'll be back on the road. And so that's what you do. You'd spend 300 instead of 700 or whatever, right? There weren't very many repairs that would cost you 700 back then anyway, but have to be a pretty serious thing. I think that a transmission probably would. Replacing a transmission or something probably would, but I mean, but if you elected to do that, you could at least get good parts to do the job with. I mean, as it stands now, even if I agreed to pay $5,000 to put a transmission in that thing, there's still the issue of being unable to get transmission lines that work. So all I'd be doing is replacing a fried transmission with a good transmission, which I would fry within days. So, because the transmission lines that would be put in would be no good. So, I mean, unless I can find some new old stock transmission lines that are 30 years old or something, I don't know if there's even any chance of getting transmission lines that have good fittings and aren't leaking all over the place for that truck. It may be that there aren't. It may be that there isn't, you know. And like I say, I got fur in my mouth. That's all done by design, anyway, it is. He went, oh, you okay? Holy smokes, Rocky. You're quite the catch, you know. You are. Poor old guy, he's had his troubles too. Anyway, that's where we're at. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I know I'm not putting a transmission in it. If it needs one, and if it does need a transmission, I'm going after the company that made those lines in a big way. Ow. Okay. That actually hurt. Quite a cat, I'll tell you. He's got strong head and neck muscles. He does. He's got the strongest neck muscles you can imagine. Puff, puff, got hair. Mm-hmm. Okay, you gotta get off me, Rocky. I love him, but it gets to be a little much, you know. Anyway, yeah. I'm trying to really preserve my propane too, or conserve it, because I don't know how much is left in that tank, and I don't have the ability just to run into town and get more, so I'm keeping the heat off as much as I can. Today's supposed to be quite a cold day. Yesterday was actually fairly warm. Today's supposed to be cold, though. So there you go. You get to watch me picking cat fur off my tongue and talking, ranting and raving and stuff. It's great fun. Great way to start the day. Anyway, I don't know. Like I say, I'm just not going to put a transmission in it. That's all. But I'm hopping mad. I mean, I'm really mad. Because there's no reason for this at all. It's all being done to us on purpose, and it's just one of many things that's been being done on purpose. The people who run this world are trying to destroy us, and this is all part of it. It isn't just that they had some bad luck and made some bad transmission lines or whatever, and it isn't just transmission lines. It's car parts right across the board. When you buy parts for a vehicle now, a lot of the time, well, maybe even most of it. I was going to say most of the time when I stop myself, but probably most of the time they turn out not to be any good. You know, look at the stuff now. The vehicles are no good. You buy a new car, that's no good either. Buy a new refrigerator, it'll cost you $3,000 and it'll last 3 years. Yet back in the 40s and 50s and right up into the 1980s, they built refrigerators that would literally last you the rest of your life if you kept them. You know? So generally, the reason people replaced a refrigerator in those days was just because they wanted something more modern. You know, they wanted something that was in the latest style, and they wanted something that had some modern features to it. They wanted a frost-free refrigerator or whatever. Um, and those things just lasted. You couldn't kill them. People would move from place to place and take their refrigerator with them. And that refrigerator would never fail. It'd be bounced up and down flights of stairs and, banged off walls and loaded into trucks and bounced around in trucks and everything else and taken from one place to another. And it'd just work. It would never, it would just work, you know. Now you get a new refrigerator, you put it in your house, you have it for 3 years, and it breaks down. And they tell you it's going to cost more to fix it than it's worth, so you buy another one, and you'll pay $3,000. So that's $1,000 per year just to have a refrigerator. Like that's insanity. And then times that by everything else, all the other stuff that you're constantly replacing. And the people who created that system are telling us that we're wrecking the world because we're a bunch of polluters. Yet those people created the throwaway society so they could make more money. And not only that, make more money off us. And not only that, but those are the same people that are always wanting to have war. We got to have war. Oh, we got to go to war. How much environmental damage does a war do? How much environmental damage does one day of war do? All of us could probably drive our gas guzzling cars and have appliances that work, and it wouldn't do nearly the damage that a war would do. And yet these same people who are shaming us for being alive and destroying the planet, they want to have a war all the time. See, if you actually listen to these people and you see what they do and everything, you soon realize they're full of shit. They really are. They're full of shit. They have an agenda, and it's an anti-human agenda. And it's an anti-God agenda, too. Unfortunately, most of society goes along with it and won't rebel against it, and even gets mad at those who do rebel against it. So, yeah, you gotta wonder anyway. Hello, you. Hey, Rocky's back. He is. There he is right there. Anyway, that's the thing. It's crazy, but we're living in a world where people are that deluded for the most part that they think these elites are our friends. Nothing could be further from the truth. And people may say, well, what are you talking about? It's just a bad transmission line. Like, that shit happens. But it's the sum. What on earth goes on out there? It's the sum total of everything, though. It isn't just the transmission line. It's the sum total of everything that goes on. And it isn't, and the fact that you just can't, it's very difficult to get good car parts now. It isn't just that transmission line, it's a lot of things that are no good anymore. And it isn't just car stuff either, it's everything. Stuff just isn't made right anymore. you know. Anyway, that's it. Yet we could build it back in the era when we're told that we were stupid and backward and no good, because apparently we weren't very good at one time. But now we're excellent. I guess we're so wise and enlightened now. What's going on out there, Rocky? Hey, who's out there? Oh, there we go. Crazy stuff is happening, you know. It is. We've got reasons to be concerned. We do. All right. Well, that's it. I gotta turn this off now. I'm only gonna go on another rant if I don't. I'm really frustrated, though, I'll say that. You know, all the money I've got into that truck, if it's dead because of a friggin' defective fuel and a defective transmission line that was made that way on purpose, you know, then yeah, I'm I'm mad, that's all. And I'll channel my anger into something anyway to get back at the people who are doing this stuff. So, you know, I'll figure it out. I don't know what I'll do exactly, but I'll figure it out. A social media campaign against the company that made those defective lines would be a start. I'll start asking people for their own stories of defective car parts from that company, is what I'll do. That'll just be the beginning, you know. All right. Anyway, we'll see you later.